Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, right. Very good. In the other people come, we'll start. Okay. Now, once again, we have to, yes, keep on going in the same track, like, educational philosophy. Now, we have knowledge to a certain extent regarding this, and you might have read the books, and you have already a prior knowledge. Some of you are experienced teachers, I know. So some or other, you might have just done philosophy as well in your campuses for the first degree. And this is not, of course, going to detail about the philosophy, but something blended with the education. So this is what we call it, educational philosophy. So concentrating more on the teaching methods, teachers, the environment, the child psychology, and all those things come into this, philosophy. That is how we look at this. Now that's what James Ross in 1950s, right? Philosophy and education are two sides of a coin. These more or less the same. The former is the contemplative. Former is against philosophy. So when you look at the word, define the word philosophy, it's contemplative. Contemplative means seriously thoughtful. It is seriously thoughtful, contemplative side. while the latter is the active part. Latter in the sense like education. So education has the active part. Philosophy has the seriously thoughtful part. So that's what I'm just talking here. Education and philosophy both are in the same coin, two sides. Philosophy as well as education. There might be, sort of education or philosophy, but education philosophy is what? So we are just going to talk about also. I told you in the first lecture also this idea once again to remind this. Philos mean love, Sophia mean wisdom. Philosophy, you love the wisdom. So love of wisdom. As a holistic view, that's a way of life. Philosophy means way of life. Now, within the field of philosophy, there are 5 theory systems. So these words are probably alien to you, strange to you. Some of you might have just heard these words as well. Somehow, this is very important for your higher studies as well. Once you just go to the master level or MPhil or PhD level, you just go into detail about the epistemology. So some or other, we are not going into detail that much, but have a rough idea what metaphysics is, epistemology is, axiology is, aesthetics and logic. So all those 5 components are very important where the education philosophy is concerned. So you can't get rid of all those 5. So it is something like a bite by, right, with the thing. So all those components are adhered to the educational philosophy. So you can't deviate from these 5 components and talking about the educational philosophy. So we'll go into a rough idea, not in detail, of course, for the higher studies. Once you just go into like MPhil level, you should go into detail. But here, of course, master, postgraduate level, bachelor of education level, we are have a surface meaning like a rough idea. Metaphysics, the place of man in the universe. So the entire universe, when you take it, where are we? That is metaphysics. And yeah, okay. So yeah, most of the words are very new uh, to most of you. So what you have to do at the moment, have a rough idea, right? And refer the dictionaries and refer the Wikipedia or ChatGPT or whatever it is, and try to browse more ideas from the internet. And everything is available. Ample of things are available in the internet. And you can go to the library also. Ample of books are also available. Now, for the postgraduate level or the Bachelor of Education level, no need of going into detail. That's the time. If you are really interested individually, you'd better refer. Otherwise, this basic knowledge is enough. When you take the entire universe as a holistic view, when the man's existence are talking, that is also we are going into detail about the metaphysics. The existence of God and the immorality of the soul. So these are metaphysics beyond the physical level, beyond the physics. What is physics? Now, physical level in the sense like you can see all those things in the physics. Maybe the buildings, how the buildings are constructed, how the machines are worked and all. So that is physics. Is that so? And the mechanism we are just talking about, those things are physics. Now, when you look at this metaphysics, it is beyond the physics, beyond the physical level. The existence of God. It is these Catholics, Christians, and Muslims, and of course Hindus. They really believe, God. Hindus also gods, not one God, no. But Muslims, Christians, Catholics, they believe God. And I suppose that Buddhists, they don't have that much of a strong belief on God. Some are other, they are thinking, and these are philosophical ideas, metaphysics. Uh, the people who believe God strongly believe that God's existence. But at the same time, we can see the atheist as well. Atheists in the sense who don't believe on God. They don't believe that there is a person called or a person or any image called God. That is their own belief. Some or other. This is something that you go into detail with your arguments. So that is what we call it metaphysics. Nobody has seen, nobody has touched, but you believe the immortality of the soul. Some people, especially the Buddhists, you people, we all believe there is a soul. It is immortal. You can't kill that. The physics or the physical body is dead and gone, but not the soul. That is how people believe. The next karma or next bhava, people believe about the next bhavaya and all. So that is what we call it immortality, not mortal. Mortal in the sense dying, digestion, dying, disposal, whatever it is. So it is immortal, not mortality. So these are, we call it metaphysics. Metaphysical positions were related not only to the real world, but also goes beyond it. The ghost and all specters, ghosts, the devils, the evil creatures, the karma, the bhavaya, and all those things go under metaphysics. The existence of a God, all those things. As explained by the educations, the human body is materialistic while the soul is spiritual. So these two words are important for you to have an idea. Materialistic and the spirituality. Spiritualistic. What is material? Materialistic means something that you can touch, tangible. You can touch it. That is what we call it material. The water, the fan, the desk, whatever that you can see, it is materialistic. All are materials. But there are certain things not materials. You can't argue. You can't prove, but you believe. That is spirituality. So most of the things under spirituality is far with metaphysics. Is it clear? Right? Yeah. Not the tangible things, touchable things. Most of the untouchable things come under metaphysics. So I think you might have got my idea. The basic idea. Don't go into detail. Don't think too much about those words. But if you are really interested, better refer individually. For the subject under, Park's campus at that moment, of course, that's enough. Yes, education philosophy is concerned. This word is important for the researchers. Epistemology. Please write down this word, very important. And metaphysics and all those things are under common category, but epistemology goes under especially researchers like you. You better just go under this epistemology. What's epistemology? With regard to the theory of knowledge, every philosopher raises two questions. What is knowledge? What do you mean by knowledge? Always think. Knowledge. Some people brand them as competence, competency, or competence. To compete with some ideas, that is competence. When somebody is equipped with compete with certain knowledge, that is competence. This is knowledge, it's a science, like, there is epistemology. What is knowledge? When you ask this question from yourself, indirectly you are referring to epistemology. The second question is, how is knowledge acquired? Knowledge is available. How do you acquire it? That is come also under epistemology. So, what is knowledge and how is knowledge derived to me? When you start think of, going in the same track, that is epistemology. In this process of acquiring knowledge, the relationship between the known and the knower is important. Now, in this tracking, I can still remember who's that? Paulo Freire. Paulo Freire. He's an educationist as well as a politician, especially an educationist. Paulo Freire, philosopher. He always, regarding this epistemology, he says now, always when you want to acquire something, to learn something, you better go from known to unknown. Known to unknown. That is what we call it epistemology. When you know something and you have some knowledge, but you just keep on doing researches and all, go into the unknown world or unknown things. That is Paulo Freire's idea. All of a sudden that comes to my mind now. That's the time. But some or other, roughly in short, epistemology means knowledge, acquiring knowledge, how the knowledge is acquired, and you go on, keep on processing. Right? So this is under education philosophy. So these are the theories, under epistemology, all those things under education philosophy. There are 5 things you can remember, I suppose. This is the next one. Axiology. Epistemology and axiology go together for the researchers. When you go for the master's level, this axiology as well as the epistemology, both are very important. Axiology of the domain of ethics deals with the analysis of beliefs and values. Domain of ethics, whatever that you do, it should be ethical. Is that so? If you are not ethical, you are not supposed to do anything. Whatever you do, it should be ethical. Ethical sense, the society should accept you. Just because you think like, this is my freedom, that you can't do whatever you like. That is not the freedom. So there's a limitation of your own restrictions, limitations of your own freedom. So that's what we call it ethics. So axiology, or the domain of ethics. Another way, ethics are domain. How the domain of ethics deals with the analysis of beliefs and values. These are beliefs, and the values. Now, for example, you have to remove your slippers and the shoes when you just enter a temple. It's ethic. It's ethic. These are, beliefs and values. We should go adhere to even any religion. There are ethics. When somebody does not belong to that category and he is coming and doing these ethics, what you call that, the rituals, it is shown, it is exhibited to the entire people there around there, so that we know that person does not belong to our category, our religion, or our nation, or our race, or it is a foreigner. Why? Because he does not have that belief or the value. So axiology means you should adhere, you should obey, you should respect the domain of ethics. In the school environment, in the education system, there are certain ethics. I can still remember when I got the appointment, right? That's very olden days, right? You are youngsters, most of you, I think. So 1990s, I got my appointment as a teacher of English at the university. And those days when I just went, I was in the staff room in a colored shirt, multicolored shirt. The principal all of a sudden came and he asked me, Meryl, at what time you're just going to the wedding? I asked, no, sir, I don't have any wedding. No, that you have already come to a wedding. No, sure. It's okay. At what time that you are going there? I asked, no, I'm so sorry, sir. I don't understand what you mean. Today I don't have any weddings. And all the other people, the staff members, they know. They started, mocking at me and started laughing. You also get the idea too. Because that uniform, whatever the shirt I just wore to the school is not matched, suitable to the school. It is more towards the wedding. So those days, I don't know how you are just doing and all. But it's my own experience I'm talking, not I'm blaming anybody. That's my own experience. The principle, that is how I learned ethics in the staff room by that particular principle. So that's what axiology is concerned. So axiology is concerned where the education system is there. Maybe the school system, maybe in the classroom, maybe in the staff room. Axiology domains. Now that's the thing. Now usually that we Buddhists usually worship to our elders, perhaps teachers, and all. Christians, Catholics, they don't have that much of practice, but they also do. But Muslims, I suppose, never. They don't do it, worship. That is their own ethics, It's cultural ethics. We have to obey, respect each and every religion and their ethics. That is up to them. They have their own reason to say. Got my idea now. So this is axiology. Once you just go to the Muslim school, you have to behave in that category. If you happen to go to the Catholic or the Christian school, just because you are a Buddhist, you can't neglect it. Or if you are a Catholic, if you just go to a Buddhist school, just because you are a Christian, you can't neglect that rituals. You have to obey, respect. So axiology or the ethics depends on that school. You don't have any cut and dry answers for those things. You don't have a cut and dry, exact, pre-prepared, ready-made answers or ready-made ethics, package of ethics. No. So ethics also alters, changes. It alters. Sometimes. Not the basic one I'm talking, but there are certain ethics that might change. As expressed by philosophers, two questions arise in relation to ethics. What kind of things are morally right or good? Which one is good? Which one is bad? Here, concepts and beliefs in relation to ethics are analyzed. So that's up to us as educationists. We have to analyze. Which one is correct? Which one is wrong? And what? These are very critical things. I'm always thinking, this is a very good question for you also just to think about ethics. Imagine once you just go near a bridge, little infant or a small child, preschool child is sinking in the water. The below is sinking that you can see. You see that. It's not a deep water, but shallow. You have the opportunity to save the fellow. It's nothing. For you, it is that may be like 2 feet. But for the little one, it is something like horrible experience. You go because you are very quick, you are very in a busy society, you are very competitive, you are in a rat race. So since that you are so busy that you go, it's reasonable. You are rushing towards your class. Maybe you are rushing towards to take your little one. Maybe looking after you, what do you call that, something, attend to your parents, old parents. Very reasonable you go. But once you just come back, you can see the dead body of the infant. You can see the dead body of the little one just close to the bridge on the land. In the law, in the presence of the law in Sri Lankan law, the democratic Sri Lanka, you have not done any wrong. You haven't done any mistake. You are you are not a wrongdoer. You are safe. But what about the conscience? You speak yourself. My goodness, I'm the killer. You, or probably I, might be the killer. I would have saved the life of the little one, but I didn't do it since I was rushing to my job, rushing to my at some whatever the reason. See that now in comparison with that particular reason, and think about yes, the life of the infant or the life of the little one. What do you think? I wish to ask your personal views about this thing. I think you understood my example. Can you just please tell your ideas, personal ideas? Do you agree with me or what? One of you? Otherwise, it's very passive lecture. I like to be active. Yes. One of you, please. Yes. No need of telling your names. Is that so? Yeah, Miss Afra. Would you like to speak a little bit? If you are attending to my, very sensitive way. Miss Afra, can you say something about that?
Actually, I couldn't hear, sir.
Right.
I
I'm
think the
sorry.
laptop volume is having an issue. So I'm trying to focus and I didn't hear what you said regarding a child.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. May I just tell once again?
Yes, sir.
You get something like a sound of a fan or whatever it is? Is that so?
No, so I think it's the issue with my laptop.
Right, because my fan is somewhere here. That's it. Okay, thank you. Now, Miss Afra, this is the idea I'm just talking. When you are on the way, because you are rushing towards your personal thing, maybe regarding your personal matter, you are rushing because you don't have that much time. Once you go, you can see a child, a small child, alone without anybody, was, doing something in the water, and the fellow was sinking. Since that you are so busy, you didn't care about that. You just went, or you just go on your work, you attend to your work, and you come back. On the way back, you can see, you observe the dead body of the little one. In the presence of the law, in the presence of the, law and order in Sri Lanka, are you a wrongdoer? If not, how do you describe this incident? Are you a killer? That's what I'm asking. We can't. Can we just brand you as a killer, or can't we? What's your personal view? I'm asking.
So though we have not influenced the incident,
Mm-hmm.
but still we have witnessed it, sir.
Yeah.
So regarding your, even though it's over the law,
Yeah.
a person's conscious and their own ethics, he should have, I think I should have stopped and helped that child. So because I had a chance of saving that child.
Sure.
So
Sure.
according to that, I am a type of a killer. I am also, I can be a reason for that too. Because
Thank
I
you.
witnessed it and couldn't stop it.
Sure. Sure. Thank you very much, Afra. Yeah. Any other idea? How do you look at that now? That's all. Yeah. Dhananjana or Dhananjana or Miss So, sir, I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Difficult, no? Difficult to concentrate at your apparatus.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Yeah, please.
I think it's a type of killer because we already see the incident. So
Yeah.
at that time, if we can save that child, we can save his life.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Yeah. Tirosha Lianage. How do you look at Tirosha?
Yes, sir. I was also thinking like same Afra and Dhananjana because as part of we see the incident and then we just ignore and we leave because of we are in some hurry, some work. That's right. But we know already we can save that child if we take the action something. So
Sure,
I
sure.
also agree with them. I thinking we are also part of the killer.
Miss Halima, the last one. Halima, Miss. Or Mr. Ratnayaka. Is that Ratnayaka? Miss or Mrs. Ratnayaka. I like to hear male voice also. Any male here?
Sir, good evening.
Hi.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Shafiq.
please. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. As a human being, that particular person must have saved the child.
Yeah.
Otherwise, until we die, we will have to fight with the consciousness.
I think so. Thank you very much,
Although,
Mr. Smarty.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. Very nice. I think, this is the important, the way of thinking. I also think in the same way as you see. Yeah, I think so. So otherwise we feel like guilty, no? Is that so? Yeah, we can't guilty free of guilty. So that is axiology. Now we have already understood that what is axiology. Just because it is away from the beyond the law, we can't get rid of our guilty quality. We always have the tendency to accept one. We always feel very sorry till we die, as you say. Very nice. As our gentleman said, yeah, sure. Till we die, it is something we are questioning ourselves. Did I do? That doesn't mean you don't go to the prison. You will not be a victim. Yeah, the verdict always for you, not against you. But even then, our conscience speaks against ourselves. Sure. No, understood. Yeah. Right or good? That's what I'm asking. Right? Which one is morally good? Morally bad? Which one? So you can't pinpoint that. It's very difficult to concentrate, especially in the Facebook and all. People are just talking, abusing, scolding, this and that, and everybody. We don't know the exact situation. We don't know. So that is the axiology, ethics. So especially in this, digital world, we are violating the ethics. We don't know exact the real situation of that particular person. Yeah, here concepts and beliefs in relation to ethics are analyzed. So what is the nature of moral righteousness or goodness? So which one is, so some people are, punishing. This corporal punishment is not good. I also believe, you also believe. Did I do any corporal punishment in my past? Why not? Yes, I did. When I was a small vice principal, yes, I had to, give some punishment. I had to with my cane and all. It is very, very difficult to concentrate that psychologist and everybody are, even in my lecture also, I just talked. Corporal punishment should be away from. I agree. But there are certain places where everybody is telling like, everyone Sarnai, God bless and all, but not loving the child. There are certain people in my life, I have met my teachers. They are very rough and tough. They never say God bless. They never say Peruan Sarna and all. But they did their work well. In the society, that rough and tough fellow definitely hit me. Yeah, he had hit me several times when I was a small child. But at the same time, I might have just met the fellows or teachers, apple polishing. The people who are, sort of always telling like smooth words, very nice words, but not done anything good for me. So it's very critical which one is moral. Sometimes the rough and tough person has the God's kindness. The smooth going, soft speaking teacher does not have that smoothness in his deeds or in her performances. Who loves the child genuinely? These are very critical questions. I can't answer, you can't answer. Even in your life, that you might have met such teachers, ample. The horrible but soft speaking. Rough and tough, but done the job well. They are very rough and tough because of they want to do the job well. That's why they get angry, aggressive and all. That does not mean a teacher should be aggressive. I don't mean it. But I'm just comparing these two. So the axiology, ethics, very, very subjective. It's something like you can't be objective. These are certain things subjective. Depends on the individual, depends on the religion, depends on the nationality, depends on the environment, depends on the village or the country. So in that sense, what is the nature of moral righteousness or goodness? What is that? Very difficult. So what is the morality? Which one is the ethic? You can't give a cut and dry answer for such thing. Can you remember that Surya Arana film. Anybody who has watched it? In single film? Nobody, I suppose.
I have watched some parts, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, yes. Afra also, Miss Afra. Yeah, Suryarana is questioning very nicely. It's for the children as well. Not for the children, so the film, it is for the adults as well. There is a foreigner and a Vedda fellow. Vedda is hunting for his own satisfaction. I mean, satisfy the hunger. The foreigner, the Sudha, is just hunting for his leisure time, pastime. The foreigner, the Sudha, is just hunting the elephant for his own enjoyment. Hunter is doing the same thing. That is Jackson Anthony's acting. This particular hunter was doing hunting in order to satisfy the hunger of himself as well as the little one of him. This particular Vedda or that hunter is questioning from the society, from the audience, from the Sudha, and from the chief people they are available, the Arachi and all. Is the deed done by Sudha correct? I am doing the same thing, but I just do accordingly to the forest. Think about the forest and I do it in a methodical way, in an orderly way. But all of a sudden the Sudha came and, shot dead that innocent elephant, Ayyo, and all. He started crying and screaming. So these are ethics, That's what I'm telling you. It's very subjective. Yes. Anything to share with me or with the audience? You agree with me? Yeah, I think you agree, right? Aesthetics. So this is also important. These people don't care about those fact now. If you are a good teacher, you should be a good actor. You should be a good actress. If you are a good teacher, you should be a good dramatist. A person who can just portray in a very fine way. You exhibit yourself as a good dramatist. So that is what the teachers as well as the students, these subjects is very important. Aesthetics. So under this, we are talking about the educational psychology, the epistemology, axiology, ethics and aesthetics. All those come, it's a combination of all those things. Teachers, you and I should know. And when we are imparting our knowledge, it should go automatically, spontaneously to the little one as well. They also should be equipped with that. Both are important, What things are beautiful, ugly, excellent, lacking, or excellence in the realm of art and nature? So these are the things. What is beauty? It's once again beauty, philosophical idea. She's a beautiful lady, very attractive for me. But for you, the same figure, the same appearance may not be attractive. Once again, it is philosophical. The things That film is very nice. Somebody say, my goodness, what the hell you are talking? Is it a film? Like that. Some people are just exaggerating. Through hyperbolic language, they are talking about teledrama's beauty. Some people say neglect. What the hell of that? My goodness. Is it a teledrama? Are you just going to tell it is a teledrama? That is how people are talking. Because it depends. The arts, the aesthetics, the music, whatever it is, excellence or realm of art and nature. But there are, as what some of you are thinking, like, but there should be something like common. Yeah, most of the people, majority could agree. That's what you categorize as classic art, classic music. Okay, fine drama, very good. What is the constitution of aesthetic excellence and aesthetic deficiency? Deficiency means the lack of things. Aesthetic excellence are there. Some maybe art, maybe music, maybe drama, maybe dancing. Aesthetic excellence. They are singing according to the pitch. Some people lack aesthetic deficiency. So the problem is, as teachers, we should be equipped with all those things to a certain extent. We can't be masters, mistresses in this particular category. We can't be singers. We can't be dancers, the musicians. But we should have some talents. So we have to use all those talents for the benefit of the little one, children in our schools. So what is the constitution of aesthetic excellence and excellence? These are the questions under aesthetics we are talking. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another idea, logic. It's logical thinking. Logics. It is also one of the very important things. Logic gives direction to the art of logical and systematic thinking and the analysis of philosophical propositions. Logic gives direction to the art of logical and systematic thinking. Unless you are a person who is logically thinking, you can't get the attraction of the little ones. Whatever that you do, should have a logic behind that. No, we all are, most of you are government teachers, I suppose, here, private and government teachers, most of you are. Not most, everybody. Everybody is either in semi-government, or the government, or probably in the private schools. You all are. You know, there are certain people, not that I'm advocating, don't misunderstand. Not that I'm advocating, I'm talking. There are certain people whom I know personally might not have done any training. They did not know, go to any training college or any university or whatever it is. They are not teachers also. They are not going to any teaching schools or private schools, but they are doing tuition. All tuition, full-time tuition people. But many students are available just before him, more than the reputed qualified teachers. What is that? There is a logic behind him. He knows how to attract the little ones. That's what the entire classroom is full. It is also logical thinking, systematic thinking. That is his or her talent. That does not mean that it is good, but he should methodically, like you, the methods, teaching methods, all those things should be concentrated. I agree with you. But at the same time, there may be exceptions. Not everybody I'm talking. Maybe exceptions. In your village, in your town, maybe one. Not much knowledgeable. Not attended to any other, the paper qualification he doesn't have, but very attractive. Maybe O-level maths. Doing well. Not a teacher, government teacher. So there are exceptions. Maybe that just because we can't neglect such people also. Because that philosophical propositions, when we analyze, we can understand there should be something like a logic. Very systematic thinking, logical thinking, art of logical thinking is available in him. Now, example, you take yourself. You always feel you are better than that. Why? You are better than that miss or that sir or what, whoever. When you are just teaching, you are very attractive to the students. Why? There should be logic behind that. You know how to do it. More than that gentleman, more than that lady. That's why in your classes, little ones are attracted. So it is something logic. Robin Barrow, who expresses a similar idea, says, what does he say? Philosophy of education is primarily concerned with the analysis of concept. Analysis of concept. And the analysis of the meaning of educational terms. Can you please jot it down? These for the assignments and all, this might be important. Is that so? Then and there you take. You can take a screenshot also. Okay, thanks. And philosophy of education is primarily concerned with the analysis of concept and analysis of meaning of educational terms. There are, certain educational terms which we are just going to talk in future. Now, in a nutshell, if I just share with you, educational terms are there, is that so? Methods, methodology, methods. How are you just going to talk? There are so many methods in teaching. You might have learned from the other lectures as well. Measurement and all methods. I told you in my lecture also, what is the method, the best method? I told you the word eclectic. Can you remember? Eclectic. E-C-L-E-C-T-I-C. Eclectic. Eclectic means what? It is subjective. Just because the European people, the Suddha fellows are telling like this is the best method you have to adhere to that one. Please don't do that. You can take some of those ideas. But is it eclectic mean according to you? The exact way of teaching, what you are imparting the knowledge, can't be exactly appropriate for me. I'm a different person from than you. So that's what I'm telling you, it's eclectic. Depends on the subject, depends on the person, it's very subjective. So philosophy education is primarily concerned with the analysis of concept and the analysis of meaning of educational terms. So we are analyzing. How do methodology? How do you analyze? When you are analyzing, my goodness, there are so many methods. Group method, a questioning method, discussion method, maybe the project method, maybe problem solving method, or lecturing method, a child-centered method. So many methods are there. There are some strategies also as well. Some techniques are also there. So the strategies, techniques, methods. I personally like if you can categorize those three. But strategies, techniques, methods. Can you please, for your leisure time, when you have free time, better go to the internet and see whether what is the difference. You better just ChatGPT or Wikipedia. You go and ask the differences among these three. What? Strategies, techniques, methods of teaching. Then you would have a very clear idea what teaching is. Okay? So just because of these lectures, you can't do such things. Malimut pase kata karana lecture dekini online. Primarily concerned with the analysis of concept and the analysis of the meaning of educational terms. So I think it's clear. So these are the, once again in a nutshell, in the educational process, the philosophers focus on questions about knowledge. Can you remember the word? Epistemology. It's alien to you, I know, but better adhere to that particular word. Epistemological question. Epistemological question. Questions about knowledge. Problems about evaluation. It's ethical problem. Problems about evaluation. How do you evaluate? Evaluate something, evaluate a person, evaluate a question, whatever it is. It's ethical. Problems regarding the real situation of the child. The philosophers focus on that also. Problems regarding the real situation of the child. We don't know the real situation of the child. By outer appearance, we judge the fellow and come to conclusions. So which is not good. So by this outer appearance, we don't know what the background of that little one. Probably we are talking about all the namesake things which are relevant to our lesson, maybe science, maybe maths, maybe history or dancing. But the little one is thinking about the breakfast. Maybe he might not have taken breakfast or the dinner last night, dinner, and no breakfast also, no money at home. With a very hard hunger, the fellow might have just come to the school. You are talking about this, all the big concepts in science. I think Vishama Bhaga, once again a single film, it's talking about very nicely. Vishama Bhaga. Jalak Manoratna. And one Hindi film also, very nice, about talking about some defect of speaking, stammering of a little one. It's a very famous film, but I don't remember the name. Can anyone remember the name? The hiccups of that particular fellow is there. Hindi film. Very nice film. So they are talking about the real situation of the child. We don't understand the exact situation. So by the outer appearance, we judge the fellow and we come to conclusion and neglecting the fellows. Because why? We don't know the education philosophy. If you know the educational philosophy, you can't neglect such people. Little one. You should be ethical and you should go into detail. Just because the little one is very aggressive and the little one might shout out. If you are a real teacher, you become tranquil. You become calm and quiet. And personally, you ask the fellow to come individually. You may ask the question from the little one. Have you had your breakfast finally? You might ask. Then the fellow starts crying. There was a teacher I just met in a school. She always shared her breakfast with a small child, always, but not showing anybody that she's doing a very kind-hearted thing. As a habit, she did it because the little one did not have money or whatever it is to take the breakfast. So there, I think most of you are doing all the same. I know personally, although you don't show anybody, you are doing good deeds. So problems regarding the real situation of the child, this one is very important to understand. It's very philosophical thing. Education philosophy is such. Logically thinking, understanding the real situation. We call it authenticity, authentic quality, authenticity, AUTHENT, authenticity. You understand the authenticity of the little one and you come to that level and you help the one. So that is the religion. That is also one of the religions, is that so? When we are doing our job well, when we are doing our job according to our conscience, that is also one kind of religion, I suppose. Ethics. So these are merit, is that so? Merit collecting. Merit collecting job. The first one is the teaching. Second one is the medicine or the medical field. Unfortunately, both are violated now. Is that so? But not fully, right? There are people like you, yes, who really doing good things for the betterment of the world. Educational practice plays a major role. Educational practice should be relevant to educational theory. The theory could change practice in education. Example, practices in education could undergo changes resulting from the availability of new psychological and sociological data. Theory could bring about a development within practice. In recent times, the activity method and the group method are utilized as teaching methods in the primary school, in place of the lecture method of teaching, which was practiced early. Because those days, people think like lecture method is the best. But when the theory comes, primary school, child-centered method is the best. People invented that, educationists, and they start doing that. Now, the new trend is the blended learning. That's so. Blended learning. Now the new trend. Anybody knows the word blended learning? Have you ever heard?
Mixture of all the methods, sir.
Okay.
And
Yeah, sure. Some characteristics are there. Agree. Apart from what you say, physically, you lecture or you impart your knowledge. And sometimes you go for the online. It is also one characteristic of blended learning, as our gentleman told. I agree with that particular teacher. Here, what he says is it's a blended of the methods also. But apart from what I just told you, physical plus online, blended learning. Now, new trend in the world. Probably in Sri Lanka also it might be just practiced. There were some rumors talking about the blended learning. So that's what, these are the things that we have to education always changes. Education should also change. You can't stagnate. I mean, the education can't be stagnated always. Yeah, it should be, alteration should be there. So that's what, just because the lecture method is there, those days the drilling was the best method. Those days, what do you call it? I don't remember the exact wording there. Very nice word. Yeah, it is something like a drilling method. Even the Piribe, today also, the monks in the temples, they do like drilling. Rote reading, R-O-T, rote reading. R-O-T, rote reading, drilling. But it is replaced by the child-centered. We never rote reading, parrot reading. So instead now, we people just go for the discovery method. Maybe we just go for the group method, problem solving method, a project method. These are the methods now. Practically you are doing. Right. The philosophical theories are known as derivative theories. Derivative means anybody can remember, can understand the word, the stem of the word. Can anyone give me the stem of this word, particular word? The basic word of this particular word, base of the word. Simple. You can
Derive.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much. Derive. So it is deriving from theories. Philosophical theories are known as derivative theories. Deriving from very many theories. It means that education philosophy is not a pure subject, but something that builds up due to the close influence of the other philosophies. So education philosophy is comprising with the other philosophical ideas. So education philosophy is deriving, it is derived from the others. I think it's clear. So that's what we call it derivative theories. Education philosophy is not a pure subject. It's a blend of everything. That's what you're talking about the psychology. Maybe you're talking about the philosophy. Maybe sociology is important. And the measurement and evaluation is important. It's a something like a combination of, it's a combination of all those things. Accumulation of everything. Yes. According to thing, in order to give direction to education, an analysis of concepts and an explanation of concepts is considered necessary. Therefore, concepts such as education, educational aims, needs, interest, learning, teaching, training, these are the words, and other concepts relevant to education are being analyzed. These are training. What is training? Somebody, a very old fellow or matured maths teacher I just met very recently. She's asking, he's a very funny fellow. He raised a very nice question, but very philosophical question from me. He's asking Merrill, now, are there training colleges now still? I told, no, I don't think so. We don't have now. We have a college of educations nowadays. That's better. Yes, why? Then he's one, Mr. Panavar, right? He's a very good maths teacher in this area. He said now, yeah, training is done for the animals, not for the humans. Training colleges are meant for the animals. Animals are trained always, not the. No, just it is like sort of a fun. He just told it like a comical fun thing, but there is something hidden there. Training. We can educate the people, but you can't train the people. Training animals, that's it's a very not according to the lecture I'm talking. That what that mature teacher asked me. I also thought in that it's a very philosophical thinking. So like that, learning, teaching, training, and other concepts relevant to education are being analyzed. Educational aims, there should be aims and objectives. When you are writing the lesson plans, some people are, some institutes, they are just teaching them aims and objectives. Common objectives, specific objectives. They are writing for each and every lesson. Specific objective. Aims. What is the aim? It's a big umbrella term. But what is the objective? A small, specific and grouping. So we have to analyze, in such a way. Every education should be a philosopher. Everybody should possess a philosophical mind. Even I personally believe, like teachers, you and I, we all are philosophers to a certain extent. Just because you are teachers, you never neglect a sick little one in your school. You attend to that one. Philosophical thinking. You always think that is my own one. It is more or less the same like the one in my family. It is also family. Once again, a school is a family. Philosophical way. The ability to revive education problems and questions according to philosophical issues and to correct them would be considered as the practical aspect of the education philosophy. You correct them. We call it a remedy rather than the corrective. The better word is the remedy. Remedial measures. R-E-M-E-D-Y. Remedy the situation. Remedy means you repair the thing and make it in a better way. Repair and make the phenomena better. It is more powerful word than the correct. Remedy. I think the remedial measures should be taken as teachers. Remedial measures should be taken as teachers to change the lifestyle of the little one. That is the philosophy's concern. Even I have my own experience. You also have an experience. After a couple of years, these people are meeting me. Since that I'm an old fellow, I just meet so many people in the society whom I just taught early, like 20, 30 years back. You don't have that much of experience, I suppose. What they just tell is, sir, you taught us very nicely, still that we can remember. You taught not only English, you taught not only literature, but you taught us the life. This is not, I'm exaggerating. Even you also may have such students in your life, or you will have in future. That is one of the greatest words that you can hear from a student. Yeah, that is one of the practical aspects. Why? Because that fellow might have been in the lower level. You didn't know about that. But without knowing it, spontaneously, automatically, you have done that job. But to get his level to a higher, to make him socialized, to make her socialized. Now he is well accepted by the society. So he or she might tell my teacher, because of my teacher, I am here now. He's the one who changed my life. How fortunate you are if you hear such a word from a student. That student does not have anything to do with now, no dealing with you now. Old one. Even then, he or she is appreciating you, admiring you. This is what we want. Remedial wishes. Why? You might have done a better remedial measurement for him or her. I think education philosophy is concerned. Ultimately, we just come to that level. Yeah, I told you, the aims and objectives should be there. Philosophy of education, you should know. Philosophical basis for such aims becomes a necessity. Aims such as, who is an educated person? What is meant by a socialization of the individual? The above question should be looked from a philosophical perspective. All those things should be in your perspective. Very philosophical perspective, you have to look into this. Proper curriculum, philosophy. What is the extent of such knowledge? An orientation towards philosophy of education is necessary for the teacher. So these are some, educationists. I might have talked about those people. I'm just going to my next lecture, maybe the last lecture, going to talk in detail about those philosophers once again. You can just take a screenshot. No need of telling each and every word. I told you it's an eclectic method. What are the techniques or the methods or the strategies you should use? Is the lecture method of teaching suitable for primary school? The teachers are thinking himself or herself. Philosophical thinking. Is it correct to allow students to memorize facts mechanically? Some people are just mechanically learning, but they don't know what it is. Even in English also saying, some people know all the things, but they don't know the basic things. Mechanical learning. Most of the things, we are in a rat race. We are mechanically learning certain things, especially our subjects even. But we should not teach the little ones mechanically. We should deviate from that track. We should deviate from that track to purposely, importantly, you should cater to the little ones in a better way. If not, should the teacher use active methods of teaching such as play, learning by doing, exploration and discovery methods? So these are the methods that teacher should get the attention of the little ones. Even in my university, when I was in the university, I could not understand what the lecturer said on literature, English literature, one subject, maybe like Macbeth, Othello, whatever it is. I was having meal. I didn't understand even a single word from that particular lecture then, the Shakespearean language. So I felt sorry about myself as well as for the lecture. So at that time, I thought, like, definitely, once I'm just doing the same novel with somebody, if you really want somebody to get my help, I'm not going to do it in that way. First of all, I should be prepared with the Othello or the Macbeth. I have to, if I don't understand, probably I might just at least read a Sinhala novel, Sinhala one, get the whole thing to my mind and start teaching them. If you don't have the knowledge, how could you impart it? If you don't know the exact method to do it, how could you do it? So that's what this philosophy is important. Teaching methods, you should know which method is appropriate for this set. The online here, of course, I'm just teaching you. I don't know whether it is a boring thing or whatever it is, because it is a, since that you are andragogy, you're the adults learning, and I'm also adult. It's okay. The other day also I told you, but you can't do such things with your little ones. That's what the online lecture was very hopeless failure with the little ones in the corona time. Not with adults like you, because you are attentive. You know it's important for you, at least because the assignment or the assessment or whatever it is, for the exams, you should do it. But for the little one, they neglect it. They don't care about the assessment. They are sleeping. So that's what I'm telling you. We should know what the methods that we should adapt to our students. It's up to you. I can't tell you why. I told you it's eclectic. It's eclectic. Up to you. It's very subjective. Just because I'm, using my own methods, I can't tell this is the best method. It becomes necessary to decide whether it is suitable to draw up rules and regulations which cannot be observed by children. What does one hope to achieve by punishing children? Corporal punishment. Does corporal punishment conflict with ethical principles? I told you, I already discussed with this question last one. I told you about the hard and fast, very rough and tough teacher, but hardworking and loving the children. The other one is soft-hearted, practicing soft skills, always doing nice words, but doing nothing better for the children's life. Horrible. But in the society, that soft skill or the soft speaking person, very smooth fellow, smooth going fellow is accepted. The rough and tough teacher is neglected. So it's up to you to think. I'm not going to give any answer for that one. It's up to you. You are adults. Does corporal punishment conflict with ethical principles? According to the human rights and all, of course, yes. You should not. You should not hit anybody with even the cane. That's the human rights. So once again, crucial and critical. How? Yeah, I agree with the corporal one. You are not supposed to do it even like you should not be a killer just because it is innocent one. Right. I think you have got my idea. Social climate. What is the social climate there? You should understand that. Authoritarian social climate. Whether there's a democratic class climate, where there's a pupil, where there's pupil participation, where the students are engaged in activity learning. If not, should there be a laissez-faire? Laissez-faire is a French word. That is a French term that means let do. I don't care. Let do. Whatever that you can do, my dear, you better do. That is laissez-faire. So allow to do whatever the children like. Teach is not dominant. Principal is dominant, not in the school. Allow to do whatever they like. Democratic in the sense, the democratic environment. Not very tough and rough restrictions, so the law and order is there. Very easygoing class. Authoritarian means the principle of the teacher is very authoritarian, dictatorship. I'm having a very personal question from you people, my dear. Where is that word? Authoritarian. Here. what do you think you should be, or your principal should be, or you, the teacher should, we are talking about yourself. Should you be authoritarian? Which one is better? Which one you like? Authoritarian or democratic class or authoritarian class or laissez-faire? There are three things. There are some more, but here, that's all. Is that so? Yes. Authoritarian, democratic, laissez-faire. Which one is good? Your personal views, I'm talking. What should be, I mean, what it should be for you? Are you just going to be authoritarian? Are you just going to be a person who is in the democratic class? Or person who is in the laissez-faire? Which one is the better for you? I think, is it clear, my question? In your school, forget about yourself. As an outsider, think about those three. Which one might be better?
Democratic.
Okay. Okay. Any other? Any idea? You are free to speak anything about those three things. Yes, I'd like to hear your voices also.
It's better to be environment friendly, sir. As we are language teachers, I think we cannot be authoritarian also.
Thank you. Any other? Shamin Bandara? Yeah. Democratic Afra. What do you think about Shamin Bandara? Yeah, Gayani is Gayani. Oh, no need of label your names and all. Why not you speak? Ne? Which one is better? Oh, you are free to speak. Huh? Not that you don't give any answer, but you better speak on those things. About whatever you like. Hurry up, hurry up. I want to finish my lecture. Yes.
Democratic.
Democracy. Okay, thank you. Any other? Any other idea, Vika? Okay, right. So let me speak then. So I personally believe it's a blend of everything. It's a blend of everything. Yeah. Stress-free, friendly environment is better for language teacher. I think democratic. Most of you are thinking, yes. You can't, once again, it is very subjective thing. Not that I am advocating authoritarian for always, but there are places, there are certain occasions, think where you can be authoritarian. So it's also a method of teaching, method of analyzing, authoritarian. Laissez-faire, of course, you give priority, you let the people to, let the children to do whatever they like, but you are vigilant, you are observant, you are vigilant on those fellows. But you give them the idea that they have the freedom to do whatever they like. But these are the things, that's what I'm telling you. It's a blend of everything. You can't give a cut and dry answer for such things. You can't give a cut and dry answer for such things. It's up to us. So it's a blend of everything, depends on the time. But as most of you agree, I also agree with democratic is more or less that we have to advocate democratic class system. I also agree. But even in democratic class system, there are certain places where you can be an authoritarian. Don't you agree with that? Otherwise, it will be a easygoing class. The little ones say, oh my goodness, our teacher does not know anything. The fellow just go and say, the parents. She is a very easygoing fellow. Your father, what the hell, that fellow does not know. That fellow does not know anything. We do whatever we like. It is not a class, you better just come and say. It's a zoo. It's an animal zoo. The little ones say, too much laissez-faire, too much democratic. But if you then and there put some authoritarian quality, then they know, my goodness, that is the limitation. This is my personal view. So I suppose now all those methods are important. Yeah, you can apply which is necessary according to that. But basically, we all agree democratic class is better. Okay, thank you. Then we have to go, do a lot today because I have to, another lecture, I have to finish the whole thing. I don't have also time. That's the thing, right? Yeah, okay, we'll think about this. The ethical aspect of philosophy has a bearing on the moral development and attitude formation of students. Yeah, no need of reading all the things. You better jot it down, whatever it is important. The last one. Therefore, moral education is related to classroom teaching as well as in the co-curricular activities. Moral education is also very important. Value education, moral education, co-curricular activities. You know the difference between co-curricular and extracurricular. Can please one of you explain what is the difference between co-curricular and extracurricular? Co-curricular. Yeah, let me explain this. Co-curricular in the sense that co-curricular activity, that activity is always based on the core of the subjects. Maybe field trip, maybe experiments. These are co-curricular activities. Because it's relevant, pertaining, abide by, related to the main subjects. Co-curricular. Extracurricular is sports meet, literary association, not directly associated with the subject, but they are extra ones. Got the idea now? Maybe the prefix, that particular ceremony, being the prefixed, that badges and all. So these are extracurricular activities. The other one is co-curricular. Got the idea? Right. We are already discussing directly all those things. Students' personality trait should be evaluated. Behavior, for example, what type of individual am I? You have to just give the idea to make the little one think in that way. Am I a person who is kind, active, and one who has impartial, stable views? Or am I a lazy, ill-tempered person with unstable character trait? Not only the little one, even for the adults, this is very important. So, teacher should first of all try to understand this and make the little one think in that way. These are philosophical thinking. Am I kind? Did I do the right thing? When the conscience always questions yourself, that is very, very nice. Educational philosophy. Get a screenshot of this also. You might have heard this. Thomas Alva Edison's life. Now, what is in the letter? Edison asked. Because the little one is shut from the school. Thomas Alva Edison. Tears started rolling down the eyes of the moment. She read the letter. What does he say? You know, this is the problem. Now, according to this, we understand that Thomas Alva Edison's life. Thomas Alva Edison was given to the world by the genius mother, not by the genius teacher. So I'm inviting everybody, you should be a genius teacher. While you are doing a good mother in your house, probably married one for a good father, genius fathers, genius father. You should be a genius teacher as well. Is it? Thomas Alva Edison's life might have been a misery because of a miserable teacher. But fortunately, miserable mother was not available in his house. Instead, a very genius, talented, kind-hearted mother was there. We all can be mothers with good heart as teachers. We all can be fathers with good heart as teachers. So that is what the message says. And as assessments, of course, I think you had you got the assessments. There are two. As group wise that you have to do one. The other one is personal assessment, individual one. Is there any problem with the assessment? Deadline is given. Did you get that already down in your groups?
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you. So if there are any problems, you can ask me. I don't think it is too difficult, right? It's very easy. It's a group assessment. Maybe the groups are divided by the campus. So you can do in that way. Very simple. So this is a very presentation, right? Group presentation. So everyone should just speak at least 2 minutes. You should be prepared with the thing. 2 minutes should be comprised with good content, right? Consider different definitions regarding philosophy of education. Probably after the next lecture also you can do one more each is there.
So excuse me, what
Yeah.
about the grouping, sir? We have to divide.
Ms. Hamisa, I don't know about that. You better just ask from your in-charge lecturer, right? Yeah, they know how to do it and all. Huh? I
Sir,
think it's
earlier we had the measurement assignment, the madam on the group task, getting the name list from the Apex campus. So do we can group ourselves, or you are grouping?
no, I'm not going to group you. I think Vishad sir might just tell you something, right? From the
We got a message, sir. The groups are the same as education measurement assignment.
right. Yeah.
Same groups.
Okay, right. So better do it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And I think you might have glanced through the assessments. Huh? This is an individual one. This is something 1,000 to 1,200 words. Write a composition comprising. You know, in subheadings, better write down, right? Write a composition comprising the reasons in detail of the following question. What is philosophy of education? Why is philosophy of education useful to the teacher? Don't write the whole thing as a bundle, but like subtopics, you know, analyzing the subject. I'm not going to talk about the subject. Subtopics, it's up to you. Put some subtopics and go into detail like one by one. Word limitation, something like 1,200, right? Depends, like, don't worry about the word limitation. Carry on whatever that you like to speak, whatever that you can write, but there should be something like limitation, that's all. But the content should be fruitful. Yes, I think everybody got the idea. Okay, thank you very much, right? Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, good night.
Right, right.